Hi everyone, I'm back again. It's Boxing Day here in New Zealand. For those of you around the world that celebrate Boxing Day, for those who don't, Merry Christmas. It may still be Christmas where you are. As you can see, I've had a little time and I've been further exploring the Sabu disc, the schist disc. I think you'll see in my last videos, I had a strong feeling that there was a relationship between the circumference or diameter of the Sabu disc and fitting it inside a equal-sided triangle, and that availed a discovery of bringing the lobe blade out of this triangle. And you can go back on my previous videos. If this is all a little bit technical for you, hang on in there. We're going to do some cool stuff coming up. Building Sabu Disc Mark III. We're going to get it spinning and see what cool stuff we can do. But I think this is really valuable in the process. It is discovery, and so I think that's well worth sharing with you all. So let's just jump into it. This is looking super complicated because I've had a big play. What I want to sort of show here is some confirmations that the triangle and the internal circle, being the disc, are actually related, and I think this will give confirmation that when this was prototyped in a flat sheet, these will have been the steps that were taken to find the proportionality of the disc and its various features. So I've got a simplified version of this first confirmation I want to show you. I've actually, just for ease, traced over this just using the old tracing paper technique, just to isolate the bits I want to show you. So I'll just bring this piece of paper in front and we can have a look. You'll see my handwriting there. Confirmation of triangle, circle, relationship 1, schist disc. Now you'll see there I'm bending the paper just to bring it up to the camera, but we'll lay that flat. Okay, so relationship 1 is quite interesting. You'll see in the previous video, and I had the lid, I don't have it with me, but I had the lid of the scented candle and I was using that as my circle and I was moving it around to see where the curves fit. There's just an interesting proportionality here that I'd like to point out. So I'll show you with my compass. Now I thought this distance here between the tip of the triangle and the tip of the lobe, I thought that was a waste. I thought that was an offcut. But I've found an interesting relationship here, so I'll just point that out. Notably, that I'm calling it here the waist measurement. It's not a third of the distance from the tip to the center, not a third. It's an unusual measurement. So we're just talking about proportionality here, and so let's not get into whether we're in cubits or whether we're in metric or whether we're in imperial. The proportionality will be universal wherever you are in the world. So let's just take that distance there. Okay, I call this the waist measurement. You can see it is the distance from the tip of the triangle to the tip of the lobe, as I found it in my previous video. Okay, now you'll see here, I'll just set that measurement there. You'll see here this curve here, which is the curve of what I call the relief. Okay, and that's the bit that's effectively cut out to provide the rising wave, I call it, of the lobe emerging from the disc. So where that curve intersects the center line here, we find a point. Okay, now remember I've taken that measurement, the waist measurement. When I take that waist measurement and I scribe, I get these marks here, 1 and 2. I won't do it again because this tracing is slightly out from the original, but you get those 2 points, point 1 and around there. You'll see I'm slightly out because of my tracing, and point 2. Interesting. So what's the relevance of those points? Well, if I take, again, the radius of the disc, and I put my compass on that point, look at this. That is the arc of the lobe. And again, go around here, you'll see that's the arc of the lobe. Now there is some margin of error, as I've discussed earlier, but it's definitely that. So that's relationship 1. There's an interesting proportionality using this waist measurement to find the point on this arc that, when used as a reference and this radius is scribed out, we actually get that curvature of the lobe. So that's, for me, confirmation 1, that there is a relationship between putting the circle inside the equal-sided triangle.